All right, welcome to the Week One Forum. I'm not always going to be able to do all these videos, and I don't know if they're going to be embedded in all the classes. For now, I just want to get you guys started, give you guys some understandings of what you're looking, what the assignments expectations are. The first thing is you have to read the material. You have to read the material every week, and you have to have it read, in a fairly quick manner. You have to make a first post that's at least 75 words that gives your instructor some faith that you have at least kind of started reading the material. One way to do that would be, for example, for this week, your first chapter is the citizen in government. So one of the questions in the study guide is, how important is political efficacy for making a democratic government work? What are some factors that enhance individual citizens' sense of political efficacy? What are some of the factors that can undermine a person's perception that their participation matters? So how would you, think about responding to that question? Well, first, what is political efficacy? It is that sense in which people believe that their participation matters, that it's effective, right? That their having a voice is important. What are some factors? Why is that important? Well, we're a democratic, government. We are at least nominally, at least the Constitution says we are a Republican government, but the reality is over time we have added democratic features. We are now a democratic republic, and for democracy to work, citizens have to be knowledgeable, and they have to believe that their voice is important and that their voice matters. So efficacy is important in that sense, in that our system of government is predicated on that idea that your participation is worthy. So what are some factors that enhance an individual citizen's sense of political efficacy? Well, one thing we know is that education tends to enhance people's sense of personal efficacy. We also know that participating in local, in government at the local level enhances your sense in which, your voice matters. Okay. What are some factors that can undermine a person's perception that their voice matters? And voter suppression. The fact that there are people out there that are saying we would rather have less participation. We want to make it harder for people to participate. People who know that they are the subjects of voter suppression, that can be intimidating. There is also the hard reality that if you are poor, it's a lot harder for you to see that sense in which your voice and your vote matters. So, that's the sort of thing, that again, if you don't know what efficacy is, ask the question. Now, it is in the book, and so don't ask, questions where I could just say to you, well, why don't you read it? But, that's sort of, guidance in terms of that initial post. From there, you're not going to be able to see anybody else's post until you make that first post. Once you make that first post, you'll then be able to, to interact with one another. And if you check every day, and I think you should, be logging on to the course on a day-to-day, fashion, you'll go to that, at a glance page, and it'll show you that, once again, if there was a post made by another student, then there it is. And you can interact with a student if they give, an opinion that you agree with. Okay, that's fine. You can say I agree, but then there has to be something else beyond that. If you're just agreeing, I'm going to basically give you a private comment and say, no, that's not good enough. You need to do more in order to demonstrate that you're engaging with the material. So again, as you read these first two chapters, look at the study guides, look at those questions, and ask yourself, what am I looking at on that study guide, that I don't think I'm comfortable, providing a good answer to. Another important thing to look at are these concept IDs that are usually on pages 2 or 3. For example, one of the concepts is equality of results. That's basically a socialist idea that everyone gets paid the same amount, everyone gets a guarantee salary or something like that. You would have to be able to, again, look at the text and say, This is an idea that is associated with, either democratic socialism or more authoritarian socialist systems that basically demand that everyone receive an equal distribution of goods and services and values. Um, you could, for significance, you could basically say that's not the American way. Americans don't think that way. We believe in equality of opportunity, and you could contrast that because that's also a concept. You could say, yeah, most Americans believe in equality of opportunity, but not equality of results or equality of outcomes. So, as again, we're dealing with, most weeks we're dealing with 2 chapters. So make sure that you are, reading, taking notes, printing up those study guides, or downloading the study guides so that you can use them to guide and structure your study of the material. That's very important. So let's have a great week of discussion, okay?